fundamentally the paradigm changed from the travel agent being in control to the customer being in control. And that was a heady feeling. And I think that really got us off, I think, as a business model. And we were one of the companies, probably the leading company, definitely the pioneer, and we just took off.
As WIT marks its 20th year in 2025, we turn the spotlight on our community to tell their stories and share their views on the evolution of online travel and technology. Conversations on Turning 20 is the collective story of WIT. As a Chinese saying goes, 以古为鉴，可以知兴替. By using history as a mirror, one can understand the rise and fall of things.
So I guess 2000 to 2005 was trial by fire for us. It was really hard. We were focused on the non-resident Indian market, which was a small market. .com bust happened in 2001. VCs wanted their money back, did a distressed buyout, became management-held company, and somehow survived. I think there were a few years where we could have shut down any point of time. Most of the time, we didn't have more money than making 2 months of payroll and 2 months of rent. So those were crazy times, but I think those crazy and tough times really prepare you for the worst. So I think they really prepared us for tougher times to come, but then kind of inured us. And like solid gold or whatever, you get with the more the heat and more the beating you take, the tougher you become. I think that's kind of our story. So we could withstand the rest better. 2005, I did feel that the India market is opening up, was ready for an online travel venture where people were ready not just to research online, but actually to book online, to drop their credit card online with the full assurance and comfort that this is a real thing. And I'm happy to say that flights just took off. And yes, flights is a simpler product. It's a two-dimensional product. It's really price and timing. You know what the brand connotes. So at max 3 dimensions, flights just took off. Flight tickets started selling really fast online. We galloped ahead till 2010 when we IPO'd. The hotel and package market took longer. So even at IPO time, we were still about 78% actually flights and just about 22% hotel and accommodation and packages. That took a little longer because of the complexity, but our business had grown really fast. So 2010, we IPO'd on NASDAQ. The market move opened up pretty fast too. I think customers basically saw online travel as being a great solution to, I guess, the pain that they had not, they hadn't spoken about it, but they felt it. And the pain was that they saw these exciting new fares being launched by low-cost carrier airlines in India. That was the time low-cost carrier airlines were also just about getting launched. But when they called up their travel agent and they said, hey, I want to book that rupees 999 fare from Delhi to Bombay, the travel agent very often didn't want to sell it. So the travel agent told the customer over the phone, oh, that's not available. Why don't you buy this? They wanted to sell full service carriers because they made more money there, but also because for booking a ticket on a low-cost carrier, the travel agent went out of pocket. And if the customer changed their mind, then the travel agent was in a jam because you may not get the money from the customer, but you had to make it good to the airline. So I think online travel solved that in a beautiful way because we built on the APIs that the airlines had. We had real-time connectivity. So it was the customer who dropped their credit card when they liked something. So they saw firstly, you saw all the choices. So you saw the cheapest fares, you saw the most expensive fares, you saw all the timings, and you made an informed decision of what you wanted to buy. Did you want to pay a premium for a better timing or for more legroom or for meals on flight? Or did you want to save money and, just were you a budget traveler? But fundamentally, the paradigm changed from the travel agent being in control to the customer being in control. And that was a heady feeling. And I think that really got us off, I think, as a business model. And we were one of the companies, probably the leading company, definitely the pioneer, and we just took off. as did many of the others. So I think everyone else also did really well. Whoever had I think, a good interface, solid technology, and all the other stuff you need for a basic website. This was Web 1.0 pretty much in India. We have become the most populous country in the world. It would be a wonderful statistic if we had no one below the poverty line, but we still have a lot of people who are very poor. But we have now about, I think the official number is probably 800 million people accessing something online. But the reality is only about 100, 150 million people are the ones really buying online. All the rest are accessing free internet for entertainment and other stuff like that. But if you look at people who are buying, that market at best is 150 million people buying something online. And a lot of them are customers. Till date, we have serviced already over 80 million customers. So these are people who are comfortable buying online. I would say another 40, 50 million have researched online but still buy offline for various reasons. They want to pay by cash. They have a travel agent they know, but the online fare gives them some kind of leverage to put pressure to get a better price from their offline agent. But it's changing all the time. Also, India is a very young population. So we are among the youngest populations in the world. Our average age is about 27, 28. So every new person coming on into the internet buying sphere is young and is ready to buy online. Also, everything now has moved to the app. So we have a web presence. There are people who still buy on web, but the predominant channel is the app, which makes it even easier. There's a lot more loyalty. People come back very easily, 1 to 3 go. The other really good news is that hotels finally moved online in a big way, I would say, over the last 6, 7 years, and it only gets better and better. Yes, it was pushing water uphill for a long period of time, but I think finally customers realize that that proposition is a better one. You can believe the pictures you see, you can believe the reviews you see. You'll probably get a better deal online, but most importantly, it's just so much more convenient. COVID, in a strange sort of way, really helped. So during COVID, of course, all travel businesses around the world were devastated, offline, online, everyone. But I think we came back much stronger. But customers also during COVID, when kind of the restrictions were being lifted, were looking for very often smaller hotels and actually also alternate accommodation. So villas and homestays in remote parts because they just felt safer there being alone rather than in a large hotel. And that was a great opportunity for us to open up that segment in a big way. So now people are buying hotels for their leisure needs, booking hotels for their business needs, booking guest houses for their business needs, very often in towns, but also in a massive way, booking villas and cottages for their leisure needs in remote parts of the country, in Goa, which is our big beach destination, in all the hill stations, etc. So it's become mainstay now, and accommodations is growing faster. Also, booking together has become a big thing. So it started with booking together of flights and a hotel where you're going. Now it's extended to flights, a hotel, and an airport transfer. So these three are kind of coming together. And then the insurance product has become a big one, which is just a big attach for people, especially when they're flying overseas, moving overseas. So yeah, happy to share that all of the good stuff is coming together now. Yeah, the next 20, which is 2045, I think nobody really knows how crazy it'll be. But if I had to wager, I'd say, first of all, your booking interface is going to be very different. It might be still some kind of phone, but more likely to be a wearable, and you just speak into it. Some people say you just think into it, but I think probably speak into it what you're looking for in your normal parlance. So you just say, hey, looking to go to Phuket. We're a family of 4. We're looking for a beach. We want to be there for 3 or 4 nights. Our budget is largely this, and throw us some options, and you'd get something probably up in the air. So you get something in the air and you'd be scrolling down that, you'd be looking at a few beautiful pictures and we'll say, boom, I like this. And then link directly to payment methods, etc. will be done. So I think it'll be just so seamless and easy. Obviously AI powered. So you'll get a lot of recommendations which are basis your preferences. All of this will be a given. Today we make a big deal out of it. I don't think we'll in 20 years see anything irrelevant. You just see relevant. Maybe a couple of questions. Are you traveling with your family? Are you traveling with friends? Are you traveling alone? Just some basic questions. Or are you traveling on business kind of thing? And then that would be enough because those are your 3 or 4 personas at most. You travel with your family, or is it just you and your partner? Are kids involved? The other one is, are you traveling with friends? And your third persona could be you're traveling alone, like it's a different kind of thing. And then you're going on business. And that will be enough basis your previous history to give you very relevant options. I also think the actual process of getting there is going to become much easier. I think a lot of demand aggregation on the fly is going to happen, which airlines will be responding to. Planes will obviously be faster, more convenient, more comfortable. Hopefully, they'll all be on green fuel. So the carbon footprint, which I often say, that's the only negative really that travel has. Everything else is just so positive. But if there was one negative, it's the carbon footprint. I think we'll solve for that with greener fuel. You'll move to hotels which are very eco-friendly, or you'll move to just villas where you want to stay. That could be another preference. So you get there really quickly, and the whole focus will be around what are you going to do when you're there. So I think you'll get recommendations around really cool stuff. Whether you're a scuba diver, do you like to snorkel? That's again a given, but unique experiences. Learn how to cook Thai food. Again, we'll stay with Phuket, from a local chef or celebrity chef if you want. We already do this in some places where you go in and a well-known chef will invite you to his or her home and they'll cook for you and also teach you. I think that kind of stuff will be very big because the whole experience thing. So you could have done your dive in the morning. You would already have all the videos and pictures ready of it. So you can show off by the afternoon. You might want to chill in the afternoon, but in the evening, you're with a celebrity chef or you're doing some other unique experience, which you can't do in your own home city. So you're doing things as a family, creating some magic together. So I think that focus is going to become very big going forward because everyone's going to come to the realization that time is the only constraint and time is the only resource constraint that we have, or constrained resource that we have. How do we maximize that? How do we create exciting and new memories? So I think a lot more focus on that rather than getting there, the hassle of getting there. All of that is going to be very seamless. And again, AI is going to recommend things for you, which probably we wouldn't have thought of. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very exciting future. Also, I do believe in 20 years' time, we'll be in a period, in an era of abundance where everyone should have enough of whatever they need to enjoy themselves, to travel a lot more. So I think for travel, there'll be a fundamental shift where people will say, hey, this is what I want to do with my free time. I do think the future of jobs will also change. Very, very few people will be working like 9 to 6 jobs. You'll be working gigs. You would have made enough money. And now you want places to spend that money in a meaningful way. I think health travel will be huge because we will have health challenges as we grow up. So I think that itself, wellness travel will become a big one too. It's a great question. And I think the OTA will have to morph and have to change pretty dramatically to respond to this need. So it's going to become entirely AI driven. So far more tech, and there'll be some folks who can do it and some folks who won't. My bet is there'll be actually a lot of new companies who don't exist today, but will take an AI first approach to the whole thing, a conversational kind of interface, everything else seamlessly locked up in the back. I do think most people will have agents, their own personal assistants or agents, either one for everything, an Uber agent, or different agents. So agentic flows is going to become really huge. You'll be speaking into your device again, or your device is going to be telling you, hey, it's been 45 days since you took a trip. And this is what I think you could do. There's some really interesting things There's now Alula in Saudi Arabia, which is a direct flight for you because you can get to Jeddah and just get there in a couple of hours from there. Or there are new experiences that are opening up. Of course, space travel, I think, would be pretty much a reality by then. And so we'll be recommended that too when there is an opportunity to get off there. So I think the travel agent will be quite different. The OTA will be quite different from what we see today. And therefore, a lot of OTAs today who are not able to disrupt themselves and embrace the new will probably perish. Firstly, I think it'll be a far more global and connected world, even though some of the leaders of today want to make it a more isolated world. I think eventually you can't stop it. So you'll need localization, Asianness, or whatever else you call it at the back end to really tie up all the pieces. But the front end could become just, a global play. That's what I feel. The new generation of entrepreneurs, the phrase that comes to mind is the Olympic slogan, which is Altius Citius Fortius, and which really is going to be, I think, faster, stronger, higher. So I think that's what's going to happen. You're really going to have entrepreneurs who are even smarter, ready to move even faster, and aim higher. So I think we're going to see that. So we're going to see a lot more very ambitious folks, but also folks who will build phenomenal large businesses very quickly, also at a very young age. So I think we will see a lot of this happen instead of people really building massive companies in their 30s and 40s. You probably start seeing this in their 20s because education itself is being challenged. People are saying the value of really, the whole routinized thing, the MBA is being challenged. So people are probably going to just pick up the skills they need really, really quickly and just say there's no reason to wait. You'll also have, I think, smaller companies in terms of number of people because, again, tech will be doing a lot of the work. So at least companies like ours will be more tech driven and therefore younger founders will not have the typical challenges which people like us have of scaling up, which is managing people. And that takes a lot of your time. So if you just have a small workforce, you can spend more of your time really developing better solutions. I think the beauty about Asia is really the stuff to be discovered yet in Asia in a physical sense. I think some places which are amazing to go to, but were difficult to get to. Um, like the terracotta warriors in China. I really want to go there. I haven't been. I don't know why, but I will go there. And parts of Mongolia where I really want to go. And both you and I are big travelers and we love to go to these places. So I think it's going to become easier to get to a lot of these places, firstly. So that's going to be one. So I think, people will find it just, the second is not in a physical sense. I think the real treasure of Asia is our old culture, our systems for living. I think those are going to be rediscovered. So whether it's yoga or meditation in India, whether it's Vipassana, which came actually from Myanmar and now is very big around the world, or it's healing techniques, which are going to come from, I think a lot of this is going to come to the front because as people discover that, hey, people several thousand years ago were onto something around well-being and we need to discover that. And that's a full cycle. I think the whole abundance thing will lead to that because suddenly people will have, or not so suddenly, but soon people will have a lot of the material stuff, but start feeling vacuous in terms of, so what is the real meaning of life? So I know I'm sounding very philosophical, but I do think we'll go there.